So today I want to show you something about shoulder angles. Now this sounds incredibly boring, but it's probably one of the most important factors to learn in your golf swing. Poor shoulder movement, or shoulder plane as they like to call it, can really disrupt your circles and get your swing out of sorts and be out of sync, causing you inconsistencies, loss of power, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to show you a drill. I'm going to explain to you about what it's all about, but also show you a drill that's going to help you to try and train this and improve yours. Okay, so if you're really struggling with your game, this is the drill for you. Come on, let's go do it. Okay, so poor shoulder movement, what is that all about? Well, we see a lot of golfers when they're swinging a golf club, they might have their shoulders turned too shallow, or they might go too steep in both the backswing and also the forward swing, or they might come over the top and so on. And having a poor concept or idea of what proper shoulder movement is really where it's all about, really. It's what happens to a lot of golfers. So understanding that and having a clear path on how that actually works and is going to improve your game can actually give you more consistency. Why? Because I talk about these three circles all the time. So the golf club swings around me in a circle, okay, it goes around me in a circle. My hands and arms go around me in a circle as well, but so does my body move in a circle. And what I'm trying to achieve when I'm teaching or when I'm coaching or when I'm playing with my own game is I'm trying to get those circles to be in balance. So what I mean by that is I see golfers where the circle goes back on one path and it comes down on a different circle on the way down or on the way through and so on. And if you upset those circles and don't move them in the right path, especially if I've got, say, my shoulder moving on a different circle, it's going to change path. All right, so understanding how the shoulders function and how they should work, and then finding a drill that's going to help you to achieve that is really, really crucial. All right, so some of the most common faults that I see with shoulders is that, like I said to you, I can see shoulders go down where they're trying to get the shoulder to point at the ball. That gets them on a very steep shoulder plane. Or the most common one I see is when the shoulders turn to level and they get the club going behind them and the shoulders, and they're stood up, let's say, to hit the shot. Very, very hard then to recover from that. They've then got to come back down to get to the ball. So learning to turn our shoulders on plane is key. So the best way to sort of visualize that is when I stand up to address, ideally I've got my spine angle, okay, which is my spine here, which I'm set up here. I want my shoulders to turn at a 90-degree angle to my spine angle. So standing from down here, I want my spine, sorry, touch the mic then. I want my spine, I've set my address up here, so I've got my spine angle here. I want my shoulders to turn at 90 degrees to my spine angle. So there's a slight element of right shoulder coming down, right shoulder going up, right hip back and up, and so on and so forth. And I'm turning on that consistent spine angle. What I'm not doing is I'm not changing that. Now, most people make the misconception of stepping up to the ball and trying to get this shoulder to point down at the ball, okay? Or this one swing plane, I suppose you can call it this, this, and this. But that motion of coming down here puts an incredible lot of side bend into you and also is making your spine curve and move in a position that it's not supposed to do. So when I swing this back, if you notice, I've turned back, my alignment stick here that I've got here across my shoulders is actually pointing somewhere probably about 3 foot out ahead of the ball, let's say. And that's probably about right for most golfers, all right? So I'm moving it back and it's pointing in the right place. Just rehearsing this gives you that feeling as well. But even on the way through, come back down, stay square, and even on the way through, it's still pointing to that 3 foot outside the line. I haven't come high, I haven't gone too low, and so on and so forth. So learning to move my shoulders around my spine angle and maintaining that spine angle, which is crucial as well, is really, really key. Now, if I can get that feel of my shoulders turning around my spine angle at the right angle here and not lifting up, that's going to get the club moving on a much more consistent path around my body, okay? And that's the whole element of why we're trying to do it. It's giving you more consistency. Now, it's not for everybody. Some people do it great and they don't need to go and work on it, but it's really, really important that you do that. But there's a great drill that I do. It's called the clap hands drill, which is going to help you to sort of simplify it at home. So, clap hands drill, what is that? So when I stand here at address, with no club at all in my hands, I'm going to just simply put my hands together and clap them together in front of me like this, all right? Roughly where I would be at address, all right? Now all I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep my lead hand, my left hand for me, in place, and all I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to bring the right hand back and keep it up there. But having this left hand stay down here pointing at the ball, or even slightly even 3 foot ahead of the ball, just helps me to stay in lean and also keeps my shoulders moving on the right plane. I can then bring my right hand back down here, that keeps me level here, and then I can pull that one up around here, keeping my trail hand pointing down as well. So I'm moving this back, into the ball, and up this way. This helps to keep me at an angle, not rising up, all right? So this is a really great way to feel this motion, okay? Ideally, where I'd rather have it is your hands are pointing like ahead of the ball, and you're just moving that back into the ball and around. Practicing that enough and getting into that routine is going to really help you to feel that motion. I can feel those movements, I can sense what my hip is doing, what my shoulders feel like they're separating when I do that, and so on and so forth. I can feel that motion, if that makes sense. But practicing that as much as you possibly can is going to really help you to really get a more consistency in your stroke, okay? Gets the club back out in front of you, and so on and so forth. It does a lot of good things for you. So just get that feeling of just back and through. You're going to get a much more consistency in your stroke. So just getting that feeling of that motion of moving around on the same plane as yours, so you move at 90 degrees to your spine angle, it's going to really improve your game a lot. So there you have it, okay? Hopefully that helps you with your bit of consistency. All these things help immensely. Practicing them as much as you possibly can and rehearsing them will help you out, okay? You can do this thing at home, okay? You don't even have to be stood out here at a driving range like this we have at Manchester. You can be at home doing this sort of thing as well. While making a cup of tea, you can just stand there and just clap the hand back into and clap it around here. It's a great drill to do that one. It really does you a lot of good. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It's forever growing, and I appreciate all of you that have subscribed. And also drop in the comments if there's any things that you want me to give in tips on. If you have any questions about the golf swing, more than happy to help you.